Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see a good repertoire against White's 6th move bishop g5 and Sicilian Najdorf, which black plays. And in this video we are going to see the 9th move triple zero, which White is going to play after the 6th move bishop g5. This is taken from the book John M's Play the Sicilian Najdorf, the Scheveningen style. So let's start. e4, c5, knight of 3 d6, d4 takes, knight of 6, knight c3, a6. Here we have the main Najdorf position or knight of position, and here he plays the move bishop g5, e6 natural move, f4, queen c7, queen f3, b5. And here it's very important to note that we are delaying the moves nb d7 and bishop e7. So we are playing with the move queen c7 and b5. This is a very effective repertoire, as I believe. And after b5 he plays triple zero, which is the subject of this video. And here we have some options, but b4 is the best of them. Bishop b7 is very unpleasant for black, which is not good for us, because bishop into f6, g into f6, because we are playing this from the black side. You can play queen h5, and after queen c5 there is an excellent move f5. So instead of that we can play the move b4. Note that if we play knight bd7, the author says that it is very complicated and highly theoretical position, which is not the subject of our video. So here b4, and after b4 he has some sharp options like knight d5 or e5. Knight b1 and knight c2 are secondary options, but knight c2 is what most players are going to play if you play this in a tournament. So let's start with e5. If he plays e5, we can go bishop b7 with a tempo hitting the queen. He has three options here. Knight c b5. Let's start with queen h3. After queen h3, d takes e5. If f takes e5, then we have queen takes e5, bishop takes f6, g takes f6. Excellent move, because queen takes f6 is followed by an excellent move, knight b5. So g takes f6, and here he has bishop b5, a takes b5, rook h1, queen f4 check, king b1, rook a6. And now once again some variations. I know this is complicated, but you can see you can just rotate around this video as many times as you want. So knight c takes b5, and here bishop d5, b3, knight d7, and here one more once again. So we are not going deep into this, you can see it on your own. And after g into f6 we can see knight a4, knight c6, knight b3, rook d8, bishop d3, queen g5, king b1, knight e5. Gave a black clear plus in the game Lepeshinkin versus Dubinsky in Moscow in 1964. So going back, after queen h3, d into e5, we have knight c b5 immediately, where we can play a into b5, and if bishop into b5 we have an excellent move bishop c6, f into e5. Here we have queen into e5, bishop into f6, g into f6, bishop into b5, king e7, excellent move, rook he1, bishop e4, queen h4, queen g5, queen into g5, h into g5, rook into e4, rook into a2, which is said by none as unclear, and black may have better chances here. So going back all the way, we have Instead of, after e5 bishop b7, instead of queen h3, we have knight d b5 attacking the queen, where we can play a into b5, knight into b5, and after that it transposes to white's no to white's 12th move, so we are going to see that later. Knight c b5 is the main variation, where we can play a into b5. And now once again we have some variations, but you can analyze them on your own. But bishop into b5 is the key variation. Knight bd7. Note that knight fd7 is a blunder because of an excellent move, knight into e6, f into e6, queen h3, king f7, f5. So we have to play knight bd7, and here now knight into e6 doesn't work because of f into e6, queen h3, king f7, e into f6, and his pawn acts as a defender for us. And we can play bishop b4 threatening mate on c2, queen h5, g6, queen e2, knight c5, with a comfortable position where we consolidated easily. So going back, we have, instead of e5 we have, let's look at knight d5, very sharp option. E takes d5, bishop takes f6, g takes f6, e takes d5, transposes to note c in our next video. So we'll see this variation knight d5 in our next video, but here we'll see the variation knight b1. Here we have knight bd7, knight d2, bishop b7, bishop d3, bishop e7, and black is quite comfortable with very comfortable position. So after b4, knight b1 is not such a good option. The most popular option, or the one you are going to encounter the most in tournament games, is knight ce2, I guess. And after that, knight bd7. This knight bd7 is keeping the options whether to play bishop b7 or rook b8. If you play bishop b7 immediately, you don't have the option to play rook b8, so you go for knight bd7. And here he has some 3 important options. We are going to look at each of them. Knight g3, bishop b7, bishop d3 defending the pawn, h6, bishop h4, bishop e7, knight h5, knight takes h5, queen takes h5, queen c5, queen takes c5, knight takes c5, bishop takes c7, king takes c7, with a completely equal endgame. Or black is really comfortable in this endgame. There is no chance that you can be worse in this position. If you play correctly from here with your endgame knowledge, it is quite comfortable to draw this position. Instead of the move knight g3 here, he can also play e5 attacking the rook, but now we have bishop b7, queen h3, d takes e5, knight takes e6, f takes e6, queen takes e6, bishop e7, which is good for black, which is really good for black. You can analyze it on your own and you can find that it is, and black is quite comfortable. There are no really powerful resources for white here to attack. So let's look at the variation g4, which seems pretty natural. Bishop e7, knight g3, defending the pawn on e4, and d5, the break in the center. This is a dream position for black. Here, if he goes e5, closing down the center, we can go knight e4, and if he retreats bishop h4, we have an excellent move g5, deflecting the f pawn from defending the e5 pawn. So this is completely good for us. And after knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4, queen e2, h6 attacking the bishop on g5, bishop h4, g5, f takes d5, queen takes e5 with a dream position for black there. So e5 is pretty bad, and instead of e5 we have bishop takes f6 and an intermediate d takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes f6. This variation is really interesting. Bishop d3, bishop e7, h4 and triple zero. This is an excellent move. Bishop takes a6. The bishop sacrifice is played because after knight takes f6 the queen can come back to a8, attacking the bishop on a6 with check like this. So we can play bishop b7 attacking the queen, intermediate move, knight e4 retreat. So seems like he's a pawn up, but we have an excellent move, queen a5 here. Now the point of this move queen a5 is we're attacking the pawn on a2, as well as we have the threat of f5. Previously f5 was not possible due to knight takes e6, or f5 is not so good. So bishop b7, queen a5 is. So after d5, instead of the move bishop into f6, we have bishop d3, bishop c5, knight b3, d into e4, knight into e4, bishop e7 retreat. And here he has two important variations: bishop into f6, knight into f6, knight into f6 check, bishop into f6, bishop e4, rook c8. If he takes bishop into b7, we are threatening mate, and this is just completely good. Now we have a superb threat of queen takes e2, and also in this position we have the move rook he1 instead of the move bishop into f6 as we previously saw. After rook he1, black plays an excellent move rook c8. The rook c8 is a really important move because black is preparing to castle on the king side, and black has some nice attack going on white's king. So after rook c8, he cannot play king b1 really, because knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, and we have a superb shot queen takes c2, because bishop takes c2 is met by bishop takes f3, winning a pawn for black. So king b1 is just not possible. After rook e2, double zero, bishop into f6, knight into f6, f5. Seems like he has some attack, but after a5 there is not much attack, and black's attack is of more potential, as written by the author. The variation after a5, this game was played between Luther and Judas in Budapest in 1989, according to the author. So I hope so this is the end of the video, and I hope you learn something from this video about meeting the bishop g5 variation of the Sicilian. I personally like this repertoire very much, and after always remember this after f4 you have this variation is made up of queen c7 and b5, and after triple zero, which is his most natural move, you can play b4. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like this video. Good luck with your chess, and bye for now.